It's just
you have to know. You have to know your
yeah,
side effects, man.
yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, HCG is a miracle when it comes to this stuff. We didn't have it for years. You know, I think it's been out now for maybe 5, 6 years in total,
Well,
if that.
it's been readily available for about 5 or 6 years. Yeah, it's been
and
around for a
you know,
while.
but prior access to it was not there.
Yeah,
You know, now realizing it is a much more accessible thing. Then like you're not doing yourself any justice if you're afraid of those things and not grabbing the things you.
right.
So HCG. My stress on it is that I read a lot of forums. I read a lot of things online about like how people have used these things, and it just blows my mind that these people have been on something for so long. Well, just like anything in your body's going to build up an immunity and expect it.
Yeah, especially when it comes to hormonal stuff. And right up the alley of what Chris was talking about, HCG is a miracle in a lot of ways. But along the lines of abusing it, there's a lot of clinics out there prescribing the HCG diet where they actually are dosing people with this stuff every single day at an increasing dose for a long period of time. And people are like, oh my God, I'm getting shredded. And so I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And they're just jacking up their hormonal system, their
Yep.
entire endocrine system over time because they're just pumping it with all this luteinizing hormone for so long, their
Yeah.
body's just like completely spazzed out. It's like being a combat vet for long enough, and your brain is so used to all this adrenaline and serotonin and all these other nootropic hormones. What do you call them? Nootropics in your brain,
Yep.
and you get home, you're like, well, frick, life is pretty boring. It's pretty dull. It's the same thing happens in your body on a hormonal level when you abuse stuff like this. Like you can only deal with so much luteinizing hormone or so much test or so much adrenaline before your body adapts to it, and you need that extremely elevated level just to feel normal again.
The other end of that too is the mental side effect that comes from
Yeah.
that. Like the worst thing in life is to have to look yourself in the mirror, right, and realize you've made a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all our own worst critic at the end of the day. We always are.
That's for sure.
But the thing that I would stress to people is that before that ever becomes a problem, is just to be smart enough to understand nothing is meant to be taken forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to come a point in my life I don't need TRT and I'm not going to care for it. Or there's going to come a point in my life where I don't need to cycle anymore. And I'm just looking at it as if like, wow, those were my heydays.
Yeah.
But, in reality, if I was to run on these things permanently for so long, forever, right, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to have negative side effects not only mentally because your pituitary is part of the brain, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that can come from that. Like HCG, from one of the things I've heard is that it can actually trick your pituitary to shutting off entirely.
Yeah.
Which is a really scary side effect. Then nothing's working.